Okay, so you know that feeling right when you're about to take a trip and you're all excited, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with the airport and the flight.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is what we are tackling today.
That's right.
We went down a rabbit hole. We are going to cover everything from before you leave the house to like that sigh of relief when you finally land at your destination.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Avoiding those headaches, saving money.
Right.
And maybe even having a more enjoyable travel experience.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be like this horrible thing.
It really doesn't?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so funny because like we dove into these sources and people are so ingenious. Like they're coming up with such clever ways to like hack the system a little bit.
Yes.
It's not just common sense stuff. It's like really specific things to really solve a lot of those like pain points that we all experience.
Yeah.
So it's like leveling up your travel game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
You're like a travel ninja now. You're ready
exactly.
to just like breeze through the airport.
I love it. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning, right?
Okay.
Pre-airport hustle, you're packing.
Yeah.
You're getting ready to go.
Yeah.
One that I was like, oh, duh. I should have been doing this all along, is take a photo of where you park your car at the airport.
Yes.
Because how many times have we all been there just like,
oh my gosh, where did I park?
Where is my car?
Every single time.
And I don't know, I've never thought to just like
Such a good one.
take a quick picture.
Simple but effective.
Simple but effective.
Right.
Saves you so much time and stress.
It does. It really does. And it gets you in that like proactive mindset right from the get-go.
Yes.
Which I think is really important for travel because then you're not just like reacting to everything.
Right.
You're like anticipating and being ahead of it. So speaking of being proactive, one of the things that really stood out to me was this idea of trying to get an upgrade at the gate.
Oh, yeah?
But it wasn't like the traditional like, dress up and be really nice. It was more like...
Be extra nice.
Like be super friendly with the gate agent, maybe mention... Like you'd be willing to help out if they need someone in the exit row.
Oh.
And they were saying that the success rate is almost 50%.
Really?
Wow.
I was like, what?
Interesting. Why do you think that would work?
Well, it's like you said, it's the proactive thing, right? You're being friendly and you're not just like, I'm entitled to this. You're kind of like, hey, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe they're just looking for someone who is going to be helpful and not a problem.
Yeah, like a cooperative passenger.
Yes, exactly.
Right, sure.
Someone who is going to like, go with the flow.
Right.
So it is a gamble, I guess.
Yeah, but 50%, that's pretty good odds.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like that's almost a coin flip.
Right.
Might as well try it, It's like, why not?
Why not?
And I think it just goes to show that like the human element in a lot of these systems is still really important.
Yeah.
It's not all algorithms and like, whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about saving some money.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's always a big one with travel, right?
Always.
This one I thought was very interesting. The idea of using free hotel shuttles.
Oh, yeah.
To get to and from the airport instead of automatically just, hopping in a cab or an Uber or a Lyft.
Especially if you have time, if you're not like in a crazy rush.
Yeah, especially if you're staying at a hotel.
Right.
That offers a shuttle. Why not take advantage of that?
Exactly. It's free transportation.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Okay. So once you arrive at the airport.
Okay.
The self-check-in kiosks, I feel like that's a no-brainer these days.
Yeah, for sure.
But there was a suggestion that you might actually be less likely to have your baggage weight scrutinized.
Really?
At a kiosk versus like an actual agent.
I wonder if that's true.
I don't know. I've never thought about that.
It makes you wonder if like the automated system is programmed with a little bit more leeway than like a human might have,
Interesting.
But either way, the advice to really avoid those overweight luggage fees is super important.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about like wearing your heaviest clothes, layering up, even if it feels a little ridiculous.
Right.
And then really creatively using like fanny packs.
Fanny packs are back.
They are back.
In a big way.
And for good reason.
That's right.
Neck pillows, they were saying some people stuff clothes in their neck pillows, which I thought was pretty funny.
I can just imagine like trying to like rearrange things like, oh my God, I've got to get this at the counter and like
just like shoving things in there
into a neck pillow and like, oh, this is normal.
Totally. And like the multi-pocket vests,
Oh, yeah.
Like really taking advantage of all those pockets.
It's a tactical packing.
It is tactical packing.
I love it.
It's like you're going into battle with the airline.
Yes, exactly. And then they said, if all else fails and your luggage is still overweight, you have a friend waiting outside the terminal.
Genius. That is next level.
That is next level.
I love it.
Commitment to avoiding those fees.
Yeah, and really, like, the takeaway there is weighing your luggage at home before you leave.
Yes. Multiple scales.
Yeah.
If you can, just to make sure. Because every scale is a little different.
That's true.
And they were even saying investing in a portable luggage scale.
Oh, yeah.
So that you have it.
You know exactly what you're dealing with.
Exactly. You don't have to, like, do the whole, like, frantic repacking at the airport, on the floor.
Yeah.
It just eliminates that stress.
It really does. That portable scale is a game changer.
It is. Okay. So this next tip is a little bit, I don't know. What do you think of this one?
I'm curious.
Checking an empty bag if you have extra luggage allowance.
Oh.
And hoping that it gets delayed so that you can get the airline compensation for a free shopping spree.
I mean, that is definitely creative.
Creative is one word for it.
Right. It's a little bit like, are you really going to go on a shopping spree? Because usually you have to, like, show receipts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just giving you cash.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to be buying, like, designer handbag.
You're buying, like...
Yeah, you're buying essentials.
Essentials.
Right.
Toothbrush, deodorant.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess it's not a complete...
It's not a total free-for-all.
Free-for-all, yeah.
But still, you're kind of, like, gaming the system a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a little bit, I don't know.
And you're creating an inconvenience for yourself.
Yeah, you are.
So, like, is it really worth it? That's the question.
Read the fine print.
Yes, always read the fine print.
Great. Now, this one I thought was actually very helpful. Using credit cards that offer trip delay insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Especially if you're traveling during those kind of unpredictable weather seasons.
Right.
Like they were saying, you can get up to like $500 back for delays exceeding 6 hours.
That's significant.
Yeah. And what I thought was interesting is that airlines, they'll often be like, oh, it's the weather. It's not our fault.
Right. Act of God,
Yes, exactly. And you're kind of like stuck. But credit card policies sometimes are a little bit more flexible.
Yeah. They're more like, we're covering you no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that extra layer of protection.
Yeah.
Like a safety net.
Okay. So let's move on to the airport itself.
Okay.
You've arrived. You're ready to go.
Oh, okay.
This one I thought was a little bit surprising.
Okay.
Don't linger at the luggage carousel too long after you get your bags.
Oh, really? Why?
Apparently, it can attract unwanted attention from security.
Interesting.
And you actually had a personal experience with this, right?
I did, yeah.
So we landed. I got my bag, taking a little longer to get hers, so I was kind of just standing there,
right,
waiting for it. And then next thing we know, like, both of our bags are getting searched.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what is going on? And they didn't really give us a reason.
So it just seemed random at the time.
Totally random.
Interesting.
But now I'm thinking maybe they thought I was like loitering or something.
Yeah, maybe they're like, well, why is this guy just standing here?
Right, exactly.
So get your bags and go.
Get your bags and go.
I liked it.
Just keep moving.
And then also they were saying don't watch bags for anyone else at baggage claim.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Even travel companions.
Yeah. Even if it's your own spouse, just be like, hey, you get your bag, I'll get mine.
Right. Meet you over there.
Meet you over there. Exactly.
Because you don't want to,
Yeah, you don't want to get caught up in anything.
Mixed up in anything.
Right.
Okay, so let's say you're at baggage claim and your bag doesn't show up.
Uh-oh.
What do?
You go straight to the airline counter.
Immediately. Yeah.
Immediately. Wait around.
Don't mess around with those airline claim time limits.
Yes.
Because if you miss the deadline,
yeah,
you're out of luck.
You're out of luck.
So just report it right away.
Good to know.
And then another thing, especially if you're traveling internationally with like specific gear or equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Really research those customs regulations beforehand.
Before you even leave.
Oh. Because you don't want to get hit with unexpected taxes.
That's true.
They were giving the example of like even computers and iPads.
Oh, really?
In Mexico, sometimes they consider those taxable items.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah. So it's like you think, oh, it's just my personal electronics.
Right.
But depending on the country,
yeah,
they might have different rules.
Interesting. So always good to just...
Always do your research.
Do your research.
I like it. Okay. So speaking of luggage, let's talk about making your luggage stand out.
Okay.
On that carousel.
Yeah, you want to be able to spot it right away.
Yes. You don't want to be like, is that mine?
Right.
Is that mine?
Exactly.
So they were saying stickers.
Color tape.
Yeah. Bright colors.
Luggage covers.
Yeah. Or even like a unique luggage strap.
Yeah. Something that makes it really stand out.
Yeah. Something that's like, oh, that's definitely mine.
And not only so that you can spot it, but also so that, it can deter theft.
Yes. That's a good point.
And maybe even protect it a little bit from damage.
Yeah. Because if it's all banged up.
Right.
It's more likely to like break open or something.
Yeah.
So just keeping it nice and secure.
Yeah. And they had this tip about adding like physical security to your zippers.
Oh, yeah.
Like zip ties.
Zip ties, twist ties.
Key rings.
Yeah, even just like threading a key ring through the zipper pulls.
Interesting.
It's not going to stop like a super determined thief.
Right.
But it might deter like,
Like the casual opportunistic person.
Exactly. And they made a good point about TSA locks.
Yeah.
They're good for like, the TSA to easily get into your bag.
Right. It's more about convenience for them.
Right.
Not necessarily like Fort Knox security.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you really want to track your luggage and like know where it is, they're saying get a GPS tracker, like an AirTag or a Tile.
Yes.
Put it inside.
Gives you that peace of mind.
Yeah.
If it does go missing, you could actually see where it is.
Yeah.
And potentially even help the airline locate it.
That's great.
And they're so affordable now and small.
Easy to just pop in there.
Exactly.
Okay, this one I thought was surprising. The humble carabiner clip.
Oh, yeah. Those are so useful.
Apparently very versatile.
Yeah.
They were saying you can attach extra bags to your main luggage.
Yeah. Or like a water bottle or something.
Right. Or like, you need to hang something off of your backpack.
Exactly.
Or even if you're trying to sleep in the airport.
Oh, yeah.
You can secure your bags together.
That's a good idea.
So that no one can run off with your stuff while you're napping.
Right, exactly.
I love it.
They're so lightweight and durable, too.
That's right.
You can just throw them in your bag and you're good to go.
Okay, speaking of long layovers and sleeping in airports.
Oh, yes.
Did you know there's a website called Sleeping in Airports?
No, I did not know that.
I had no idea.
That's amazing.
Apparently, it's dedicated to finding the most comfortable and safe spots to sleep in airports around the world.
Oh, that is so helpful.
I know. I wish I had known about that.
Me too.
During some of my overnight layover situations.
Especially if you're on a budget.
Right.
And you don't want to get a hotel.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Okay, let's move on to the security checkpoint.
Okay.
Because that's always a little bit stressful.
That's always a little bit stressful.
So this one I think is just common sense, but it's worth repeating.
Okay.
Keep all your valuables together in a zipped pocket in your carry-on.
Makes it so much easier.
So much easier. And you're less likely to lose stuff.
Right, and it just speeds up the process.
Yeah.
You're not fumbling around trying to find things.
And then they had this tip about coordinating with your travel partners.
Yeah.
If someone anticipates needing extra screening,
right,
the other person can keep an eye on the bins.
Yes. Teamwork. Just makes it so much less stressful.
Exactly.
Because you're not worried about, oh, is my stuff going to disappear?
Right. Yeah. And then, of course, they emphasize paying attention to what the TSA officers are telling you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because apparently the equipment and procedures can be a little bit different from airport to airport.
Yeah. You can't just assume that you know exactly what to do.
Right.
Because they might have different machines, different rules.
Right.
So just pay attention.
And, of course, the golden rules.
Yes.
Wear slip-on shoes.
Easy on, easy off.
Be easy on, easy off.
Right.
Minimize jewelry and metal.
Yes. Less is more.
Less is more when it comes to the metal detector.
Exactly.
Okay, so TSA, pre-check.
Yes.
Global entry, if you're eligible.
Game changers.
Worth it.
Worth it.
And then they were talking about apps like My TSA and FlightAware.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
To check security wait times.
Right. So you can kind of strategize.
Yeah. And maybe choose a different terminal.
Exactly.
If one is really backed up.
It's all about that real-time information.
Yes.
Having the data at your fingertips to make those informed decisions.
Yes. I love the idea of a jacket with multiple zipper pockets.
Oh, yeah.
Not just for organization, but also they were saying it can double as a pillow.
Multifunctional travel gear is the best.
Yes.
It's why carry more than you need to? If one thing can serve multiple purposes, I'm all for it.
Okay. So this was a cool tip.
Okay.
Apparently, if you send an iMessage with your flight number in it, it automatically becomes a clickable link.
Really?
That gives you updated flight information.
That's so convenient.
I know. I had no idea.
It's built-in flight tracking.
Yeah. It's just right there.
Right in your messages.
And then, of course, downloading the airline app.
Oh, yeah.
Essential.
Essential these days.
They have Maps gate updates. And I heard that Qatar Airways even has 360-degree views.
Wow.
Of their planes for seat selection.
That's amazing.
I know, that's next level.
That's so cool.
And then Google Maps offline.
Yes.
For the airports you're going to be in.
Because you never know if you're going to have Wi-Fi.
Right.
Or if it's going to be reliable.
Exactly.
So just having those maps downloaded.
Yeah, you're not wandering around.
Exactly.
Lost and confused.
It just eliminates that stress.
Okay, a word of caution about technology.
Okay.
Public charging ports.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a risk of data tampering.
Oh, really?
So they were saying it's better to just rely on your own personal power bank.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe.
And when it comes to Wi-Fi,
yeah,
the Wi-Fi map app can be helpful for finding passwords.
Oh, that's a good one.
But always use a VPN.
Yes, a VPN is essential.
Especially on those public networks.
Especially on public Wi-Fi.
Because you just don't know.
You never know who's watching or what they're doing.
Okay, this one I thought was interesting and maybe a little bit obvious. But avoid using the first restroom.
Oh, yeah.
You encounter after you arrive at your destination.
That's a good one.
It's going to be the most crowded.
Right. Everyone's getting off the plane.
Everyone's going to the bathroom.
They all have to go.
Exactly. So just walk a little further.
Yeah.
Find a less crowded one.
Exactly. Okay. Let's talk about airport lounge access.
Oh, yes.
Because this is often described as like a game changer for frequent travelers.
It really is.
And you can often get it through certain credit cards.
Right.
And they were saying arrive early.
Yes.
So that you can maximize your launch time.
Exactly. Because it's like a little oasis.
You know, in the middle of the chaos.
And apparently you can add authorized users to your credit card.
Oh, really?
And sometimes that will give you even more guest access to the lounge.
That's a good hack.
I know. So if you're traveling with people,
yeah,
you can all enjoy the lounge.
That's awesome.
Even if you have lounge access, they were saying, still pack some snacks.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
In your personal item, just in case.
Because you never know. The lounge might be closed. Yeah. It might be super crowded.
Right.
They might not have the food that you want.
Exactly.
So just having your own snacks.
Yeah. Be prepared.
Always be prepared.
So if you are using an airport lounge,
okay,
they were saying always ask the reception about the walking time to your gate.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Especially if it's getting close to boarding time.
Right, because you don't want to be sprinting.
You don't want to miss your flight.
Through the airport.
Exactly.
Especially if there's like, you know, security checkpoints along the way. Right. You never know.
And then they had a little note about priority pass lounges.
Okay.
Apparently the quality and the crowding can really vary.
Oh, really?
And they said that they tend to be busier in the U.S.
Interesting.
Than in international locations.
So it's like not all priority pass lounges are created equal.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, manage your expectations.
So while you are waiting, whether you're in a lounge or at the gate, download your entertainment.
Yes.
Charge your devices.
Important.
Confirm your transportation at your destination.
Make sure you know how you're getting from the airport to where you need to go.
Exactly.
It's like a really easy way to potentially skip the line.
Skip the lines. Okay, let's say the worst happens. Your flight gets canceled.
Uh-oh.
Or it's significantly delayed.
Right.
The advice is immediately.
Yes.
Look into your passenger rights for compensation.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times you're entitled to something.
Right. The airlines have certain obligations when there are disruptions.
Yes.
So it's important to know what those are.
Yeah. And there's even an app called AirHelp.
Oh, yeah.
That can help you figure out what you're entitled to.
That's so helpful because it can be so confusing.
It can be.
You know what I mean? Like all the different rules and regulations.
Yeah.
So having an app that just kind of like walks you through it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's talk about in-flight comfort.
Okay.
Noise-canceling headphones.
Essential.
Lifesavers.
They will make such a difference.
They really do.
On your flight.
Especially if you're sensitive to noise.
Yes.
Like I am.
It can be really overwhelming.
It can be so overwhelming.
So just having that ability to kind of like tune everything out, you know, create your own little bubble of peace and quiet.
If you are a frequent long-haul flyer, they were recommending investing in a Bluetooth adapter.
Oh, yeah.
That allows you to use your own wireless headphones.
Yeah, because the airline headphones are not always the best.
Right.
You know, and they're not always that comfortable.
And especially if you have like, you know, good quality headphones.
Right.
Why not use them?
Exactly.
Okay. And then they were saying, if you need local data, consider setting up an eSIM.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Before you even land.
Yeah, because then you have it right away.
Right.
You don't have to worry about finding a SIM card.
Exactly.
Or paying those crazy roaming charges.
Okay, let's talk about in-flight comfort.
Okay.
They were saying avoid those gas-inducing foods.
Oh, yeah.
The excessive alcohol,
right.
The caffeine.
Yeah, you don't want to be bloated and dehydrated.
Exactly.
And it can make jet lag worse.
Yes.
So just be mindful of what you're consuming before and during the flight.
Boarding strategy.
Okay.
If it's a full flight,
you
want to get on there early.
Get that overhead bin space.
Yes.
Right.
But if it's not a full flight,
you
can maybe wait a little bit.
Came back.
avoid that initial rush.
Exactly.
Okay, travel insurance.
Yes.
Seriously, consider it.
It's worth it.
They were saying the potential savings on medical bills alone can be huge.
Especially if you're traveling internationally.
Yes.
So
just that peace of mind.
Yeah, it's like a safety net.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen.
Okay, if you are worried about your carry-on fitting in the overhead bin at the gate.
Oh, yeah.
They were saying just kind of like try and manage it discreetly.
Right. Don't make it super high.
Don't be shoving it in there.
Exactly.
And it never hurts to ask about discounted upgrades.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
They might have some unsold seats.
The worst they can say is no.
Exactly.